don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Too late. I found you can't wait to become perfect. You got to go out and fall down and get up with everybody else. But every difference of opinion is not a difference of principle. I know it's not easy for you, living this life, but try to remember, always try to remember, you're not the only one with troubles. A need for revenge can burn long and hot, especially if every glance in a mirror reinforces it. Youth offers the promise of happiness, but life offers the realities of grief. It is better to be divided by truth than united in error. It's the glasses that do not fit the nose, not the nose not fitting the glasses. Knowledge is responsibility, which is why people resist knowledge. Never respond to an angry person with a fiery comeback, even if he deserves it. Don't allow his anger to become your anger. We go on our hands and knees and crawl our way towards the truth. Take risks, make bold decisions, and enjoy the journey of leaving your own unique mark in this world. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms. Of course, there is no formula for success, except perhaps an unconditional acceptance of life and what it brings. You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. You don't have to worry about burning bridges if you're building your own. You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. That's the duty of the old, to be anxious on behalf of the young. And the duty of the young is to scorn the anxiety of the old. Real life is messy, inconsistent, and it's seldom when anything ever really gets resolved. It's taken me a long time to realize that. Of life's two chief prizes, beauty and truth, I found the first in a loving heart and the second in a laborer's hand. What's even more messed up than funerals is the way people treat you after the funeral, like you're diseased or something. Life is something that happens when you can't get to sleep. Make improvements, not excuses. Seek respect, not attention. But merely being tradition does not make something worthy, Kadash. We can't just assume that because something is old it is right. Life is an intricate play with actors waiting for an explanation. Each added act confers a new interpretation of the story. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of not trying. We are saved by faith alone, but the faith that saves is never alone. To become a lifelong reader, one has to do a lot of varied and interesting reading. If you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. You are the point of origin for everything in your world. You set the standard for yourself. An item is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it. People are not lazy. They simply have impotent goals, that is, goals that do not inspire them. Don't change your mind just because people are offended. Change your mind if you're wrong. Teachers are the one and only people who save nations. As the poets say, stories are truth told through lies. The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. Life gave me lemons, then I met you, and you had vodka. Now my life is a party. There is no moment more precious than the exact moment you are living now. A life isn't measured in hours and minutes. It's the quality, not the length. Never respond to an angry person with a fiery comeback, even if he deserves it. Don't allow his anger to become your anger. Abundance is not the absence of scarcity, it is the presence of abundant mentality. The single best thing about coming out of the closet is that nobody can insult you by telling you what you've just told them. I would prefer a sword to fight duel, but a pin to plan a war. for. Never force yourself on people. Never complain after missing an invitation. Never whine when they take you for granted. Take your victories, whatever they may be, cherish them, use them, but don't settle for them. When you judge another, you do not define them, you define yourself. It is a joy to be hidden and disaster not to be found. The single most powerful element of youth is that you don't have the life experiences to know what can't be done. We'd met at a carefree time, a moment full of promise. In its place now were the harsh lessons of the real world. You are a cosmic flower. OM chanting is the process of opening the psychic petals of that flower. The tears of the world are a constant quantity. For each one who begins to weep somewhere else, another stops. The same is true of the laugh. If there is any truth in the world, it lies when I'm with you. Vote for the man who promises least. He'll be the least disappointing. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It is the life in your years. If anyone on the verge of action should judge himself according to the outcome, he would never begin. Always stand up for truth regardless of who steps on it. It is quite simple to live a life of progress, have a vision, and be committed to the process required for success. Better to illuminate than merely to shine, to deliver to others contemplated truths than merely to contemplate. To invent your own life's meaning is not easy, but it's still allowed, and I think you'll be happier for the trouble. Oh, for the years I have not lived, but only dreamed of living. Don't be discouraged if your effort does not yield desirable result. Good thing take time. Life is and will ever remain an equation and capable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Sometimes bad things have to happen before good things can. I imagine that the intelligent people are the ones so intelligent that they don't even need or want to look intelligent anymore. Keep your dreams. You never know when you might need them. Know from whence you came. If you know whence you came, there are absolutely no limitations to where you can go. A humble man will always receive the best that others have to offer, for he recognizes the truth. In the calculus of feelings, you never really know how one person's absence will affect you more than another's. Don't wait for the right moment to start. Start and make each moment right. Hatred is a form of faith, distilled by passion to remove all rationality. Miracles do not, in fact, break the laws of nature. Having the life of your dreams is simple. Make conscious choices. When the actions becomes frequent than the words, success becomes heavier than the dreams. Do more, say less. Art is the social antithesis of society, not directly deducible from it. Writing is the spectrum through which the chaos of life can be seen, studied, and understood. Books are mirrors. You only see in them what you already have inside you. A lie, sometimes, can be truer than the truth, which is why fiction gets written. The only time you fail is when you fall down and stay down. If you don't give up on something you truly believe in, you will find a way. The greatest step towards a life of simplicity is to learn to let go. Learning to believe you are magnificent, and gradually to discover that you are not magnificent. Enough labor for one human life. Sometimes people don't understand the promises they're making when they make them. A lifetime spent merely enduring your body squanders your power and forfeits your capacity for contentment. We are here, and it is now. The way I see it is, after that, everything tends towards guesswork. None of us will ever accomplish anything excellent or commanding except when he listens to this whisper which is heard by him alone. If you try and lose, then it isn't your fault. But if you don't try and we lose, then it's all your fault. Until you have suffered much in your heart, you cannot learn humility. People don't realize how a man's whole life can be changed by one book. Even if you don't have all the things you want, be grateful for the things you don't have that you don't want. A rose does not answer its enemies with words, but with beauty. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow, the more knowledge, the more grief. Cunning grows in deceit at seeing itself discovered, and tries to deceive with truth itself. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. That's what fiction is for. It's for getting at the truth when the truth isn't sufficient for the truth. You will never break free from your constraints unless you're willing to risk failure to test the strength of your perceived bonds. If you possess enough courage to speak out what you are, you will find that you are not alone. All that happens means something. Nothing you do is ever insignificant.